Why a company doing this mistake? I have no idea, so you have to watch the video to find out why companies should hire software testers. Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel Software Testing. My name is Knott and I'm happy that you're here. You have read already the title, you have seen my little introduction. The topic of today is why companies are not hiring software testers. And I compiled 10 reasons that I have seen in my career in the last 15 years why companies haven't hired any software testers. And if you're a company, engineering manager or whatever who has the power of hiring people and you don't have any testers yet in your company, watch this video to make sure to not make the mistakes that I have seen in the past, because in the long run you will regret of not having any software testers. So let's take a look. What do we have? First one is we have unit tests. Yes, of course, I bet you have heard this already a couple of times as well in your company, or in case you are a developer or a product manager. We don't need testers, we have unit tests. So people think that high coverage of unit tests are enough for good product. Well, it's a starting point, right? So every software tester, every software developer, need to implement unit tests if they make sense, of course, for the product, right? But having only unit tests is not sufficient for your product in the long run to succeed. Yeah? Unit tests are the foundation layer of tests. Exactly, that's what they are. They are the foundation. They give the developers a good feeling that they have changed little tiny piece in their unit, like in their tiny part of the code that's still running. There is more to check, as I mentioned already, because there is this that you can do. You can test on the integration with of other layers. You can test the automation, the API. You can test the UI layer. You can do like a whole end-to-end testing chain, like from a user journey's perspective. And of course, there are non-functional requirements that you can test in an automated way. And as you can see, unit test is just like the little tiny thing that you should do at the very beginning of your implementation phase. And to be honest, users don't care about unit tests or any other tests that you have in your product development lifecycle, because they would like to have a working product. They don't care if you have like thousands and thousands of unit tests and hundreds of your other tests implemented. If the product is still not working, they don't care. They only care about working products, nothing else. Yeah. So if you have this in mind, forget about it and get some testers. They will help you in setting up a test strategy and bring everything into a better direction. Our users test the product. Yeah, of course, we have heard this, right? So companies think that users will provide enough feedback about the product, aka they test it. This might be some way of getting feedback, right? But this should not be the only reason of not hiring software testers, because it's a bad idea. Because users, if they use your product and they have negative impressions of your product, they will have the negative feedback that may have an impact on your reputation, on the revenues. They leave your product, they go to another to a competitor, for example. So testing, let the users test your product is always a bad idea. You can get some feedback from them using alpha beta groups, for example, or like doing specific interviews, as I mentioned just here. This is a valid point of gathering feedback from your customers, but it should not be treated as a replacement for testers. So another bad idea. Hey, sorry for the break of the main video. I would like to present you the main sponsor of today's video. And before I do that, I would like to mention a true story that we all know in the software testing industry. For those of us and for you who are working already for many years in the software testing industry, you know that testing certificates are helpful and can be helpful to get a new job, find a new offer and stuff like that. But on the other side, they come with a huge drawback, because many of the certificates are usually outdated in terms of the exams, because they're just testing your theoretical knowledge. Things that everyone can learn, can study over the course of years, passing the exam. And the biggest drawback is that they're not reflecting on your practical knowledge. And that's what my sponsor of today's video would like to change, to bring back the focus on real practical knowledge into testing certificates. So let's take a look what the sponsor is all about. And the main sponsor is MITC, which stands for Modern Information Technology Certification. MITC will change this, will change the drawback of the theoretical exams. All you need is your practical testing skills to master the certification. During the exam, you have to test a real application based on your testing activities, and you have to answer those questions. The exam is designed to be modern and is fully available online without the involvement of a proctor. It can be started right after purchasing. Also worth mentioning, the exam is based on the Testing Cup, the World Testing Championship, and the Mr. Buggy app, created for this specific event. They're both well-known apps with bugs tested during the championships events. So here's a quick demo of MITC and how the exams look like. First, you are given with a scenario. On the Questions tab, you can see the questions you have to answer. The questions have a direct link to the application that you can test and have to test with your practical knowledge. Once you're done with your testing, you can provide the correct answer. And during the exam, you will design test cases, prepare test data, identify functional, usability and security defects. And last but not least, you can report incidents of your work. The exam is accessible to everyone for only €49.99. And right after the purchase, you can start taking the exam and check your skills. So go and take the challenge. Find all the links down below in the video description. And now we're heading back to the main video. Number 3, we can fix it in production fast. Yes, of course. Fixing stuff in production is always a good thing. If you can do it, if you have a really solid architecture that is giving you the chance of doing fixes in production, perfect, great thing, do it, go ahead with it. But this should not be like a lame excuse of not hiring any testers in your company, because there's stuff to do and stuff to prevent. Yeah, doing this without testing is a bad idea, because imagine you have a lot of fixes in production and users will always notice this and say, okay, this is a crappy product, I don't want to use it anymore, it's not reliable, I don't trust them with my data and so forth. That's a bad idea. There might be new issues that can be introduced with a fix. Yeah, let's say we can fix fast, the developer is coding the fix, is doing something here and there, pushes it to production, and then he or she is noticing, oh my god, I broke even more. Stupid idea. So not all products can be fixed fast on production. That's also a case, right? So imagine you have a mobile app that is installed on thousands or millions of devices, and you cannot fix it on the backend, for example, or on the API layer. You have to fix it on the product that has been installed on the mobile phones of your customers. There is no fast way of fixing it. So that's why having a safety net or like a quality mindset in your company is really important. And of course, it will harm the company's reputation, revenues, and whatnot. So this is a bad idea, and it can even cause more damage in front of users, right? So as we just mentioned in the third bullet point here, you fix something, but you damage something at the same time. So fixing in production is good and bad at the same time. We don't have time for testing. Ugh. That's a lame excuse, right? There's always time for testing. Of course, there can be always done more. We could also say we could have more time. We don't have enough time for developing. We don't have enough time for good user interaction design. We don't have enough time for product development, and so forth and so forth. There's always time. So that's what I meant here. There's never time for anything. But if you don't do the right thing the first time, you end up in cleaning the mess afterwards, right? So you spend even more time on a topic like software development, software testing. Yeah. So if you don't do any testing, any quality measures up front, in the long run, you have to pay the bill, in order to clean the architecture, refactor the architecture, and so forth. And then in the long run, you lost more time than adding some testing activities up front. Yeah. So no matter how good development team is, there will be bugs. There's no bug-free software out there. This is an illusion. It's not going to happen. It will never happen. And so this is something that you have to take for granted. There's always something. And with testing and quality measures, you just reduce the risks, or you mitigate the risks in order to, some really bad things going to happen on production. Yeah. So tested software will bring up enough issues to be solved during the development to reach a stable version before shipping it. Yeah, so that's important. And even if you have only one single tester in your team, in your company, this person brings already value to the company, yeah, and help you in order to establish a quality mindset, quality thinking. So give it a try. Number 5, we don't have the budget. Yes, of course, we don't have the budget to hire any testers. Instead, we hire more developers, and more developers produce more code, and more code means more bugs, potential issues. So it's always the struggle, right? So budget is always a topic in every company. No matter to whom you're talking to, budget is always something. And we have seen it in the recent layoffs, right? That companies lay off people because of budget constraints, right? But companies must spend the budget wisely. I mean, this is nothing special to testing or not hire testers. They have to have a plan and to have a vision what their product should do for them, and then they should find the right people and the right combination of people and hire them. So doesn't make sense to hire only developers. As I mentioned before, more developers mean more code, more issues. You end up in more struggles. Yeah, I just said it. If the peep hit the fan, companies' reputation can be harmed, and they need to spend even more money in cleaning up. Yes, cleaning up, literally like having this metaphor in mind that something hits the fan, you have to clean the mess up afterwards. So this is really the thing, and this whole company reputation, this is so underrated by companies. They think, it's no problem, we have software, we can fix it fast. But users, it's really easy for users to just use a competitor product, especially these days, for example, on mobile apps, but also on web applications. There's so many competition out there, and they just go somewhere else if they think or they see that the product is really bad. So get some testers in the company. Developers can test. Yes, of course. They have to test. They should support the testing activities with unit testing, with code reviews, code pairings, integration tests, I don't know, do some mob programming and whatnot. Help each other out in terms of testing, advocate for quality as well, have the quality mindset, because that's important. That's for me a modern software developer. That person that can do testing, is involved in the product development and in the whole life cycle of everything that you're doing, producing as a team. Because you cannot sit like down somewhere in the basement and say, oh, give me the requirements and I code them down and that's it. I do nothing else but coding. That's not going to work. So developers tend to dislike testing. Yes, there are like these kind of people out there. They don't like testing. They don't see any value of it. But the first time or the moment their own code is reaching production and they really messed up the system, they start to like testing. And maybe they have made bad experience with software testers or with any companies that treat quality in a bad way. This is bad, but you have to, to help them get another thinking. Attend some testing conferences, for example. This might open up the people's mind and help them to get a better understanding for software testing. Testing their own code makes no sense. Yeah, this is also a problem. I mean, if a developer tests only his or her own code, it's not good, right? Because you just take the happy path. It's your code, nothing is going to happen. It's the best code I've ever written. These kind of statements. So making your own code tested, it's not working. Developer testing is important, but not enough. Yes, it's a similar thing like on unit tests. So unit test is a good thing, is something that you have to have. Developers need to support testing activities. Otherwise, in the long run, you will fail. Number 7, tester slows us down. Yes, I have heard it so many times. Oh, you're just here for, finding issues and so forth, and you slow us down. And I don't know why companies think that way. I mean, just because you have people in the company caring about quality and they would like to help you in getting better, they don't slow you down. They just tell you hey, you're doing the wrong thing in front of your users, and in the long run, you will pay for the bad code that you're producing. Yeah, so there's the thing the less we test, the fewer issues we have and faster we are. I've heard it. It's true. It happens. And yes, I don't know. It's stupid. It's just not true. Yeah, I mean, we can just go like this. Okay, we close our eyes. We are blind. Everything works. Ship it. Then it's breaking, or it's not working anymore. Yeah, well, what can go wrong, right? I mean, I've noticed it or seen it myself when working in software development teams. Oh, I've tested it. One of my developer tested it once. He pushed it to production and everything failed. And then he said, hey, Daniel, sorry for that. Now I need to do more testing. Yeah? They have to feel the pain themselves up front. So companies have no idea about the value testers bring to a company or a team if they think exactly that way. So we as a community have to educate them, tell them the benefits of software testing. And that's also one of the reasons why I'm doing this channel, is to actually tell the people, tell the world, like, hey, testing is great. It's a difficult job. It's not an easy job, but it brings a lot of value to the teams and the customers. Number 8, testers are just problem finders. Yes, that's similar to the ones before. Testers slowing us down. Yeah. If you think that way, I mean, come on, it's stupid. Yeah. If you would hide the bad things that are in your product and you blame testers for it, that's stupid. Yeah. So if we don't test, we don't have any problems, right? Hey, let's do it. That's a good idea. No, it's not. So don't do it. Some think negatively about testing. Yes, that's also a thing. I have noticed that at some of engineering managers I've worked with, they had no idea in testing. They never tested their own code before. They were just like, okay, hacking the stuff down, coding the old-fashioned way of developing code, writing the requirements down, and have no clue about testing. And that's why they think that way. They're just slowing us down. They're just problem finders. They only make a negative impact to our team. That's stupid. It's not modern. It's not like an open-minded way of developing. Yeah? Maybe they had a bad experience before. Yes, this can be the case. Yeah? If they made bad experience, maybe with bad software testers that just clicked here and there and were not asking questions, trying to mitigating risk and these kind of topics, they have this impression and we have to change their mind. Good testers bring lots of value to the team. Yeah, to the team and to the company. Oh, there's a missing animation. To the key team and company, because they're asking questions, they're advocating for quality, do testing and whatnot. Yeah, so that's like a really versatile position that a tester can have in a company or in a team if he or she is allowed to do so. Yeah, so they're not just problem finders. Number 9, the team is going to test it. Yes, of course, that is important. The team should test. The quality mindset in a team is such an important thing. This whole team to quality approach that Lisa and Janet are giving trainings up on is a really good thing. So if you are in a team with developers, product managers, UX, UI people, bring them together, organize some test sessions, explain them the value of quality of testing, what this is all about, and then enable them to test your product. Yeah, that's important. So a team, as I said, must have this quality mindset. But it's a terrible thinking that anyone at the team can do the same testing activities than testing. Yes, I have heard it as well. Yes, we are a team. The team is testing, similar to developers are testing. Yes, this is just like a little tiny thing that a team can do in order to check for the quality things, for the happy path. But software testers do many, many more things. They kind of have a complete different mindset. They put the user in their minds, try to act like a user, try to see the edge cases, ask questions and these kind of topics. And UI and UX and developers, they have other tasks and duties to do. They have to write code, they have to provide designs, they have to work on the interaction. So they cannot do the same testing activities than a software tester can do. So, bad idea. Would be the same thinking than an agile coach can write the code. That's an example that I just mentioned. Yes, this is stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So a holistic whole team approach to quality must be present. If this is not present in your team yet or in your company, try to get the training, try to attend this training that I just mentioned. It's really a cool thing to get this mindset started, and then you will end up in much more reliable and better software products for your customers. So, and then, yeah, because that was an important point I would like to mention here. The teams are sitting in the same boat, and that's also really important to use a metaphor. I usually use like you're in a boat and you're rowing, and if only one person goes in the opposite direction, the boat is not going in the same direction, right? So this is like not working together as a team, and quality is really important, or should be important for every team, because everybody would like to ship and build a really great product that customers love, right? Everybody would like to have millions and even billions of users, happy users. So you have to have this quality thinking and to sit in the same boat and go into the same direction. Otherwise, you will fail. Yeah. And last but not least, work as a team, not against each other. That's important. Yeah. So work as a team, try to solve it down and then get it going. And last but not least, of course, you have waited for it. We automate all the things. Yes, it's in people's mind. I mean, come on. How can one be so stupid and thinking that we can automate all the testing? We do 100% code coverage and then we don't need any testers anymore. It's just stupid. Doesn't make sense. So let's automate all the things and we don't need testers is in people's mind, and that's wrong. For those of you working in software development and have a lot of experience and a good quality thinking, you know that it's stupid. Yes, let's do the replacement finally of developers. Now with AI we can do the same thing with them, right? So we can just generate the code. The AI is doing the coding for us. So let's do the same thing now. We don't need developers anymore. So we don't need testers, we don't need developers. We just have product people and designers. And even that we can automate, right? So you can already guess it, it's stupid. Automation is for sure really important because it gives us enough time to tackle the really hard challenges, the things that cannot be automated, the user journeys that are hard to automate. It's just an instrument like it, or like something in our toolbox, automation, that we can use and implement and bring value to the team to have faster feedback cycles, release with more confidence, and have more time for the real testing activities. And that's what I just mentioned. It frees up the time for the real testing challenges. Yeah, it can speed up things. That's important. So you can really do some other discovery phases and whatnot inside the team to add more quality to it. Yeah. But as I mentioned already, but automation or AI will never replace another bug here: testing and coding. Yeah, we always need people's brain and mind and thinking, because I mean, if an AI develops the product, it's being used by customers, by real users, and not by an AI again. Maybe in 20, 30 years, who knows, we are in that state that we can use AI for creating products, but then we could also think why should an AI produce a product that we use as humans instead of telling the AI to do something for me? So yeah, that's also one way of thinking it. So we are still in a good situation here. We have lots of work to do, a lot of challenges to tackle. Automation will never be replaced, or will never replace testing, it will never replace coding. Yeah, it will just help us. And with that, I brought for you the 10 bad reasons why companies are not hiring testers. Let me know, what do you think? Well, let me know in the comments below which of the 10 bad reasons you have noticed yourself, maybe personally or inside your company, in a team, in a hiring process, or in any different situations. Let me know in the comments below. I would really love to hear from you, from the community. And as always, leave a thumbs up to support me, leave a subscription, and thank you for coming by today, and see you next time. Ciao.